It would appear that more and more people are unable to concentrate for long periods of time due to them having short attention spans.
Well, hello there. My name is Mr. Duncan. What's yours? Welcome to another full English episode, coming to you from England, the birthplace of Samuel Johnson, William Shakespeare, Tiddlywinks, Mr. Bean, Benny Hill, the Wellington Boot, Teletubbies, and Mr. Duncan. Oh, and also the English language. Talking of which, let's get going with today's full English lesson, starting from now.
Here's an interesting English word. The word taste has many meanings and uses. The most obvious one is the sensation of flavour while eating something. The flavour of something is its taste. The sense of taste is how flavour is detected and how we are able to savour it. Your sense of taste. To try something as a way of seeing if you like it is taste. To take a taste. Normally this relates to sampling some food. Go on, have a taste. You might like it. We can use the word taste to express an individual choice or liking for something. A person's taste is their own personal choice. Clothing, furniture, art and music are all things that are subject to a person's taste. The thing they personally enjoy relates to their own taste. Your taste in music, your taste in clothing, your taste in furniture. A person can have good taste or bad taste. Of course, taste is completely subjective. One person's bad taste in something might be another's perfect choice. So, taste can relate to flavour, a person's own personal choice, a sample of something, and let us not forget that taste can also refer to what is seen as acceptable in society. For example, a joke or comment that is seen as being offensive might be described as being in bad taste.
The word break might look simple, but in fact it can be used in many ways. As a verb, break means to destroy something by striking it or throwing the object against a hard surface. To misuse something to the point where it malfunctions or stops working is break. To take something apart in a controlled way is to break up. As a noun, break means to take a rest period from work. You can take a short break or a long break. A period of rest or inactivity is a break. To be on a break means that you are taking time away from something. In a relationship, a couple might be on a break. This means that they temporarily split. They are taking a break from each other. A brief pause or ceasing of something can be described as a break. A break in the rain. This means that the rain has stopped for a while. To break something in means to tame or teach something to be obedient. For example, you can break in a horse. Then there is the other form of break-in, which names the action of a person getting into your property without your permission. To gain entry by force is to break in.
There is a great expression in English which is pull the plaster straight off. A plaster is a small piece of sticky material with another piece of sterile material in the middle. A sticking plaster is used for covering a cut or scratch to the skin. A minor wound that has been bleeding normally requires a plaster to be put on in order to prevent dirt from entering the wound. After a few days, the plaster must be removed. Most people hate removing the plaster as it can be a painful experience. Some people believe that the best way to remove a sticky plaster is to tear it straight off without hesitation. The pain is still there, but it is brief and the discomfort is over quickly. So the expression pull the plaster straight off means to get something unpleasant out the way by taking fast action. Don't delay or drag the problem out. Just pull the plaster straight off and get it out the way.
Do you know someone who is snooty? Have you ever met a snooty person? The word snooty means to behave with an air of superiority. To be snobbish and arrogant is to be snooty. A snooty person believes they are better than others. Their view is that they have a better lifestyle than most other people. A person with money might behave in a snooty way. They look down on those who have less wealth or appear to live in a lower class than them. A snooty person tends to be arrogant and stuck up. We can describe a snooty person as a snob. This person behaves in a snobbish way. They have a high and mighty attitude. They are toffee-nosed, supercilious, pompous, haughty, conceited, and quite often arrogant.
It's time to take a look at another buzzword. A buzzword is a sentence or word that is in common use during a certain time, or is seen as being popular. Today's buzzword is attention span. This phrase relates to the amount of time a person can concentrate on one thing. This can relate to a task or an activity. A person's attention span is measured by how long they can concentrate on doing one thing. We often talk about the short attention span of young people. The various attractions and distractions that exist nowadays has led to a belief that people are beginning to develop short attention spans. The advent of instant digital media and online streaming allows people to view many things within a short space of time. It would appear that these days people grow bored easily, as more choices means that they can swap and change what they are watching in a more convenient way. The term short attention span highlights the inability to concentrate on just one thing. It would appear that more and more people are unable to concentrate for long periods of time due to having short attention spans.
Here are two words that are used frequently. The word obsessive is an adjective and obsession is a noun. You can be obsessed with something or someone. You can have an obsession for something. A constant fascination for something can lead to obsession. To be motivated by something quite often entails a degree of controlled obsession. To be passionate about something might be mistaken for obsessive behaviour. The real problem arises when an obsession takes over someone's life. Obsessive compulsions are things you cannot stop yourself from doing. The feeling of having to do something in a certain way at a certain time can be described as obsessive-compulsive disorder. This pattern of behaviour can blight a person's life and is often linked to other problems such as anxiety and depression. Have you ever held an obsession for something? Do you have an obsessive nature? We often use the word obsession in a negative way, but there are situations where having an obsessive nature might be a good thing. In its day-to-day use, the word obsessive means fanatical, compulsive, and uncontrollable. However, when we look at those who have made a success of their lives, we find that they tend to have obsessive personalities. Although, instead of obsessive, we tend to use words like driven and motivated. These are more pleasant ways of saying that a person's success comes from their obsessive belief in what they are doing. So maybe having a little of that obsessive nature can in fact be a good thing. The problems seem to arise when a person's obsession becomes the only thing they have in their life. Knowing when to take a break from something would appear to be the key to keeping that obsessive drive under control.
It is inevitable that at some point in your working life you will have to answer to someone who is above you in status or rank. Most work environments have some sort of administrative hierarchy. The word hierarchy means chain of command or pecking order. From the lowly to the high up, the positions in the workplace tend to follow a typical pattern. From the unpaid intern right up to the senior management. Somewhere in that chain, you will be placed. More often than not, most senior management chains consist of supervisors and managers. Then, right at the top, there is the CEO, which stands for Chief Executive Officer. There are many ways of describing this person, both formally and informally. This person is the boss, the top man or top woman, the chief, the leader. Informal terms include the big man, the head honcho, the big cheese, the top brass. The boss or company owner might be described as a fat cat. This particular name is seen as being negative and derogatory, as it suggests that the boss is wealthy and very powerful. The bank is owned and run by a bunch of fat cats.
Oh dear, it looks as if I have run out of time yet again. Another full English lesson is coming to an end. But don't be sad, don't get into a strop. There's no need to despair, because I will be back soon with more fun and games from the world of English. Just before I leave you, the answer to the word puzzle that I set for you last time was education. Did you get it right? I hope so. This is Mr. Duncan in England saying thanks for watching me, teaching all of you. See you again soon, and of course, ta-ta for now.